Dear students, hope you all are studying well. You all know, in the last three classes, I discussed lesson 1, 2, and 3 from Unit 2 of your textbook. You have already learned that lesson 1 deals with greatest scientific achievements of the last 50 years. Lesson 2 deals with science and technology against age-old diseases. And lesson 3 deals with scientific breakthroughs we are waiting for. Now I shall discuss lesson 4, which deals with a few more scientific breakthroughs the world is eagerly waiting for. The title of the lesson is Scientific Breakthroughs We Are Waiting For, Part 2. So let's start our today's class. Let's have a glance at the name of the contents of today's lesson. The contents are Manned Mission to Mars, Nanomedicine, and Journey to the Center of the Earth. Now we will read some pieces of texts dealing with some of the greatest scientific breakthroughs that the world that have not happened yet. Our first piece of text is about manned mission to Mars. Let's go through the text. Putting men on Mars has been an idea in science fiction for quite a while. So for quite a long time, going to Mars was as unimaginable as stories of science fiction. However, when man first walked on the moon, walking on Mars suddenly seemed feasible. You already know that men first set foot on moon in 1969. When that had been possible, men started thinking of visiting the planet Mars. A manned mission to Mars would be a huge milestone in space exploration. You know, the outer space has been being explored since the advancement of science and technology. However, mission to Mars has not yet been possible. If it becomes possible, it would be a significant event or stage in space exploration. It would allow a more in-depth study of the red planet, and many have argued that building a permanent base on Mars is much more practical than building on the moon. Mars is called red planet because its soil looks like rusty iron. If men can set foot and explore Mars, much in-depth study of the planet would be possible. Many people argue that building a base in Mars is much more important than building that in Moon. A mission to Mars should be similar to moon landings, but much more difficult. Men sitting on foot on Moon was a remarkable incident. Mission to Mars can be considered to that. However, mission to Mars is more difficult than moon landing. The trip is about 100 times longer, and there are few problems such as Martian weather which must be considered. Time for going to Mars from the Earth is 100 times longer than going to Moon. Martian typical weather such as cold, dust, desert, which also need to be considered for visiting Mars. NASA currently has plans to have a man on Mars sometimes in 2030s, while ESA plans to do so also around the same time. Russia has plans to launch a manned Mars mission by 2020. America's space agency, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has planned to send man on Mars within 2030. European Space Agency has planned within the same time, while Russia plans to accomplish it within 2020. Dear students, our next piece of text is about nanomedicine. Before going to the text, let's learn what is nanomedicine.
What if we could screen for thousands of diseases all at once with just a single drop of blood. What if we could search out and destroy cancer cells without surgery or chemotherapy? What if we could restore eyesight by injecting tiny particles that help the body repair injured nerves? These scenarios may seem far-fetched, but they are among the long-term goals of researchers working in the new field of nanomedicine. But what is nanomedicine? Nanomedicine is the application of nanotechnology to medicine.
Nanotechnology is the science of the small, the science and now, these days, also the engineering and applications of very small structures.
It's kind of like a giant game of Lego, only it is very small, and the building blocks are molecules and atoms.
If you look in biology, most of the components of your cells and all of your proteins are all nanoscale objects.
So what doctors need are tiny tools that can work with fantastic precision at the nanoscale, the size of the smallest working parts of our bodies.
Nanotechnology has created so many materials with really unique and distinctive features. It gives us a new toolbox to try and address many unmet medical needs.
How do you bring the drug to the right place? How do you avoid the biological barriers? These are problems that are very well suited for a solution that is a teamwork solution.
Hundreds of teams of researchers are exploring exciting new ways to better diagnose and treat disease through nanomedicine. Each new technique will need to go through years of testing to ensure that it will work and that it will be safe.
I think that nanomedicine is going to bring us a number of really significant breakthroughs in the coming years. It's also going to allow us to evolve some of the current technologies into things that work a little bit better. If it's one of many ways, that's also very exciting because the bottom line is that we want people to be well.
Now let's go through a text dealing with nanotechnology and nanomedicine. Nanotechnology has the potential to revolutionize several fields, but its greatest contribution may very well be in medicine. The application of nanotechnology in medicine are literally endless. Nanotechnology can be applied to several fields. However, its biggest contribution may be in medicine. Nanotechnology can be applied to cure various diseases also. Molecules could be built to stick to and destroy cancer cells and only cancer cells. You know, molecules are a group of two or more atoms forming a small unit. So these molecules could be built to destroy only the cancer cells from the patient's body without affecting other organs. Advanced drug delivery techniques could be used to deliver drugs to specific parts of the body and eliminate side effects. Using this technology, drugs can be delivered to a specific part of the body without any side effect. Microscopic robots could be used to perform ultra-delicate surgeries, to repair damaged tissues, or to hunt down and destroy certain cells like cancer cells or bacteria. Very small size or microscopic robots can be built using nanotechnology to perform surgery, to repair tissue, and to destroy any malicious cells from our body like cancer cells or bacteria. Nanomedicine is currently in its infancy, but it may prove to be the biggest breakthrough in modern medicine since the first vaccine. Nanomedicine is at the early stage of development. It may be the most significant breakthrough in modern medicine. Now we will read a text dealing with journey to the center of the earth. In the 19th century, it was generally thought that man would reach the center of the earth long before he reached the moon. It was expected that within 19th century, man would reach the center of the earth long before setting foot on the moon. This shows how unpredictable technology can be. That expectation has not been fulfilled. It shows how uncertain technology can be. A journey to the center of the earth is actually much more difficult than it sounds. A journey to the center of the earth is very difficult. The pressure at the center of the earth is enormous because, quite literally, the entire weight of the world is on top of you. As it is the center of the earth, the gravitational pressure is the highest. There is no substance, not even carbon monotubes, that can be maintained in shapes at such a great pressure. There are no known materials, not even carbon monotubes. While the Earth's deep interior may offer vast amount of energy, it may be quite a while before we can tap into it directly. Although the center of the Earth or deep interior may offer huge energy, it still needs time to reach there. Dear students, here is a list of vocabularies for you to learn. I suggest you to pause the video and learn them carefully. Finally, there is a question for making flowchart. I hope you have already learned how to make a flowchart. I suggest you to pause the lecture and make a flowchart based on the text that I have explained earlier. Here is a sample answer to this question I have mentioned earlier. I suggest you to compare your answer with the answer I have provided here. Dear students, this is the end of my today's class. If you have any question, you can write in the comment section. Thank you very much.